Hello fellow Poke fans, we'll be back with another episode of Pokemon. And last time, we came here to the next route leading up to Mount Moon, and we battled all the trainers up to the guy below that ledge right there, and yeah, we got a Wartortle and everything. So, just a team recap, we got Shellshock the Wartortle at level 16. God, how I miss in the later generations where you could just sit down. Flappy, level 10 Pidgey. Neat Mega, the level 10 Butterfree. Fangs, the level 10 Rattata. Death, the level 10 Nidoran male. And Sparky, my level 10 Pikachu. Oh, what a good fat shit. Alright, so now we're gonna head to battle this smiling young bitch. I'm tired of battling young punks in their shorts.
That look you gave me, it's so intriguing. Now I just sound like a gay trainer.
Lass wants to fight. Take out the L and nothing but ass. So we're gonna water gun this Reddit. Oh, he's got that priority. Well, I got some guns. Ready to spray your ass. How do you like water guns, squirt guns, and everything above? No, didn't like that? I guess you're not a big fan of water balloon fights. Nidoran male? Well, too bad. Die. My god, my Shellshock is certainly not doing the damage he should be. But whatever, he's only 6 levels above this piece of shit. What's with my mood all of a sudden? I have no idea.
Be nice!
No! Give me your money. Well, I'm going to switch out my Shellshock to level up some of my other Pokes. And, yep. And actually, Neat Mega is not really going to be taking much of this because, you know, eventually he's going to be scrapped for some shit better, so I'm going to eventually just not level him up much. Sparky's going to get more of a treatment because Raichu's a fan favorite of mine, so I'm going to put him above, well, actually, yeah, I'm going to actually have him above Death because I love Nidoking. And I'm not a big fan of Rattata. Raticate's fine, but not a big fan of him. So, he's going to eventually be scrapped. So, let's battle this smiling young punk.
You can fight my new Pokemon!
No. Bugcatcher wants defeat. Bugcatcher send a Caterpie. Well, no catering pie to you too. Words. Strong fighting words. My god, Gust, why aren't you flying type in this generation? Stop stringing shotting all over my Pidgey's face. He doesn't like Bukake, my good friend. I'm sorry for anyone who's young. I just taught you a new word and I'm very sorry. Level 11! Woo! Yeah, 7 more levels! The Betapod. Betapod. Oh, look at that Betapod. He's only in beta. At least you're not binary. Well, I guess you technically are codes, but whatever. I don't even know what I'm going on about. I'm not no computer genius. Gusta! Me gusta. Metapod, quit hardening. We don't need any more penis jokes. Oh, god damn it. I don't know what is going on with my mood today. I am very weird today. Wow, level 12 already. Flappy learned Quick Attack. Yes, that priority. God, that sprites for Gen 1 were terrible. Whew! Man, I should show you guys what Golbat looked like. If only some of you people who are new to Pokemon knew what Golbat looked like. Well, I could actually show you a couple of sprites. I tried to find a Pidgey sprite, but it couldn't find one that's not the exact same Pidgey sprite that we have here. But I can show you the Golbat sprite that we had back in this generation, if you don't already see him later in the game. And I could show you what Mew looks like back in the original Japanese versions of the game. So here we got some new Pokemon. Let's do it. Oh, we already got you, Spearow. We don't need you. You know, the second generation added a nice new feature, not only with your XP bar at the bottom, but it also has a Pokeball at the top left corner there to show that you have the said Pokemon. Back when I was completing the Pokedex several times, it always involved me going to the Pokedex, like so, and seeing what Pokemon I needed. And it was a pain in the ass, because not only do I have sometimes poor memory, but then I would have to go into a little booklet. I remember one time, when I first completed the Pokedex ever, which was Gen 1, was the first game I've ever completed, I had a little book that showed all the Pokemon in it, which I still own, Strategy Guide by the way, and I would mark off what Pokemon I had, which was easier so I didn't have to go between Pokedex and back, and I just go and flip what page that didn't have any checks, and evolve said Pokemon, or go catch it, or something. But either way, that's what I used to do. I also had a Pokemon, like, little, I don't know if it was a strategy guide, I don't remember, but it had a sticker section in the back where you take the stickers of said Pokemon and put them in this little page area, and that'd be how you determine what Pokemon you had. Oh god, I missed that book. Alright, so there's like a Jigglypuff in here, and I think maybe even Nidorans? If I remember correctly. Well, there's the Puff. That thing finds its way into your nightmares as it lulls you to sleep with a false sense of security. Gust. Because it's not a stab. Stab or not, it's dead. Fuck. Whatever. I'm not like I'm trying to complete the Pokedex or anything.
Eek! Did you touch me?
Sorry for that. Oh god, I bet that peaked. That hurt my own ears. Sorry if that eek peaked. Eek peak. Eek peak. It's like I looked at her panties and she's like, eek! That's gross. These girls are like 12. I'm sorry. Ugh. Oh no! You are not lulling me into a false sense of security, and lullabying me. See what I did there? Lullaby. Anyone? No. No! I hit up on the D-pad. Instead, I just shat at it. Sing. I really hate status effects. Most being affection and sing. Or asleep, rather. Not only that, I hate Frozen in the first game. My Pokemon just can't seem to let it go. God, I make that joke every time. Oh, now it's trying to disable me. Now it's trying to make me into a paraplegic. I'm sorry. Yes. Level 13! That's it!
It's it! It's it!
See this face? I'm smiling, bitch. Smiling at your defeat. Yeah, you better look away. Gonna kill some Mr. Pokemons. Gimme. I don't need your Spearow, and I don't care for Fearow either. I unintentionally rhymed. Fear the Spearow. Well, Jigglypuff's not a big concern, and if you guys really want me to complete the Pokedex, that'll be a while. Not only that, I'll have to look up online again and download a virtual link cable and duplicate the emulator, because there is a way to open a second version of the emulator and put in the opposite version you have, and plus I would have to play through the game again. Good thing is I do have this, but no. This is even harder than Dodrio mode. Ah! Dodrio mode was hard to control and get into caves because you'd be like this, Dodrio mode active, and you'd be like, no, no, especially on bikes. On bikes, it's like it's cocaine mixture with crack and heroin. Does heroin stimulate speed growth like coke? I don't know. Like wired. Does it make you wired? I don't know, I've never done it. But enough of my drug habits. Let's move on. Now we're in Mount Moon, where everyone shows their butts. Prepare your anuses for Zubats. I found TM12. What is TM12? I don't remember. Oh yes, your bide. Water gun! Useless! I already have it. Your bide, correct? Yes. Zubit! Look at that precious little Zubit. It's so Zubatty. I don't know where I was going with that. So cute. So cute! So cute. And I'm gonna catch it. Don't know why I'm catching it. It's just it's just out of habit, to be honest. And I have one ball left. I'm gonna have to go buy some more Pokeballs. Normally when I play the game personally, I would just go and catch any Pokemon in any area without leaving the area until all the said Pokemon are caught. And I usually use that's the only reason I use a guide for. Is sometimes that in item locations in games that I'm not used to where all the items are located. I would use it for item locations and for Pokemons in certain routes. And this is what I'd still use my red, blue, and yellow guide for, because it's a combined guide. And I would locate a specific Pokemon on a route, or all the Pokemon on the route, capture them all, make sure they're caught. Sometimes books can be wrong. Very wrong. And I would capture all the Pokemon on the route and then move on. Depending on, even if it's rare, such as the Jigglypuff, or, you know, rare shit like Electabuzz, and so on and so forth. Zubat! It's a bat! Mind blown. Forms colonies in perpetually dark places. Use ultrasonic waves to identify and approach targets. Do you want to give a nickname to him? How about more unoriginal names? I mean, they can't really be unoriginal considering they're my names. You know, something I named a specific little Crobat in my Nuzlocke. Vamp. I'm sorry, I don't know what to name Pokemon. I'm bad at that. I've never done it before, aside from a Nuzlocke and now, apparently. I mean, I have... My cable just fell. I have done nicknaming like Sparky, Zippo for Charmander, Shellshock for Blastoise, and fuck Venusaur. He's not my favorite. I don't really care for his design, nor do I like him. Bulbasaur is cute, but no. And otherwise his name would... whatever his name was in the movie. Hey, there's your Picky-Bee. There's your Picky-Bee. I found a Potion. I found a Potion! Aww. Zubit. So in here, I think there's Zubats, Clefairies, Paris. Wee-wee. All the wee-wee. Meh. Meh.
Suspicious men are in the cave. What about you?
Oh, I'm very suspicious. My name's Red. Take that any way you like.
Bucket you with the foot.
So, there's a bug catcher in a cave. Fighting bats that are poison flying and bug grass types and normal fairy. Not normal future fairies, should I say. Yep, seems about right. Legit. Now my bird is poisoned. Great. And not in a good sense. If my bird was poisoned in a good sense, it'd have Pokérus, the sex virus. Wouldn't that be hilarious if Pokemon Oh God. Leave a comment if you want a new virus that consists of like Pokemon having sex and they contracted a virus that actually helps growth. Yes, it's the AIDS in the Pokemon world. That doesn't sound right, nor good, but it'd be the same. It'd be similar to Pokérus except it's contracted through sex. Poke love. Why am I going on about this? Pokeviruses, Pokeviruses, Pokerus, Pokerus. Oh yes, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know what Pokerus is, for anyone who's new, Pokerus is a virus contracted through battling Pokemon who have it, trading with people who have a Pokemon that has it, and you battle enough with the Pokemon in your party, and your said Pokemon who don't have it will contract the said virus, and it'll be on them for a certain period of time. And I think if you like deposit them or something, the virus is permanent on them, but they don't get the bonuses from it, but they can still pass it on. Now what Pokerus does is it enables stat growths more. So if you EV train, you get EV effort values, which is effort values, which grows your base stats. So every time you level up, you get points leveling up your overall base stats. And what that does is it grows it faster. It gives you more, making it easier, ideal for PvPers and people who are big into the Pokemon metagame. And it's very uncommon to run into. In fact, it's pretty rare. But I have several few, and it wasn't introduced, I think, till Gen 3, I believe. Or maybe onward, I don't remember. But all I know is it's pretty good to get if you're a Poke lover. And my Pidgey grew to 14. And you want to infect as many of your Pokemon as possible. And it doesn't kill you. It promotes stat growth. It's great. And that's why I got the whole Pokemon AIDS thing from. Instead of, killing your Pokemon off, it just promotes stat growth more. Even more than Pokerus, because, it's love virus. I don't know. But it's random. It doesn't really have there's really no origin. I don't really know the backstory behind Pokerus. I don't look up information and stuff, but it just it's just a thing for EV training, and it just has really no origin unless there is a sort of origin that came from it. Maybe it was born of something. I don't know. Isn't Deoxys a virus? Maybe it came from him. Oh. Like I said, I don't read any of this information. I'm sure a lot of people who know about it know that it's born of something. I don't know. I had a lot of theories that maybe it was born of Deoxys, who is Geodude, who is a virus that was made in space. Geodude. Now, see, I would go for Golem, but I would need to not only make a new game and catch one other Pokemon and trade it over, which involves me getting a link cable. Which is fine, because there is a data cable that you can get. As much as I want to do that, I don't really know if it's worth it. Golem is great. I love him. I love his design and everything. I know it's pretty weird, because, I see a lot of backlash towards Geodude. He is a weird design. It's a rock with arms and a face. Golem is just a lizard in a ball that a lot of people mention that he's a turd and a bunch of yada yada. But I grew up with Golem. I love him. In fact, he was my first Heart Gold Shiny. Geodude, in fact, was my first Heart Gold Shiny, and that made me fall in love with him even more than I already have. And it's just he actually had a great nature, which affects not only your stats, but it also determines what grows more. And for Golem, I believe it was defense, which is good. He also doesn't have anything that minuses his attack, which is also good because he's a physical-based monster. So I EV trained him up with defense and attack, and for a Pokemon who wasn't bred, he's pretty beast. And he doesn't look the coolest, but Geodude is shiny, he's gold, and I fell in love with the little nugget. And I called him my little nugget. He's like a golden nugget, except I wouldn't sell him. It made me so hippie. And it just happened out of the blue. It wasn't a freaking shiny that I went to go capture. It was went to go find. It was one of those random shinies that just appeared one day when I was leveling and evolving and completing my Pokedex, and I'm like, whoa! And mind you, the last shiny Pokemon I've encountered, not counting Red Gyarados, was a shiny Oddish. This was years ago, back on Crystal version. And I was probably, I don't know, elementary school, maybe even middle school. I don't remember, but it was a long, long time ago. A long time ago. I am going to call you... my Geodude in, I think my Heart Gold Nuzlocke was... Rockefeller? Was it? I'm gonna call him Rocky, even though that's kind of not my own. It actually, not only is it Rocky Balboa, but, you know, a movie character, it also is named from... There's a guy who trades you, I think it's in Gen 2. Yeah, I believe it's in Gen 2 because you can use it to fight Faulkner. There's a guy who will trade you an Onyx named Rocky. I would have named it Rockefeller, but I don't want to go too crazy on the Pokemon that are straight up my own nicknames from other games. It just doesn't seem quote-unquote original, I guess. My names aren't original anyway. They're stupid, but they're my own, I think. Unless someone else randomly... I know there's a lot of people who probably named their Pikachu Sparky because, you know, Richie was a badass as a kid. But, you know, come on. Not everybody and their brothers naming their Zubat's Vamp and their Rattata's Fang and everything. I mean, even though that's a cool name in my opinion. But, to me, it's my own and... whatever. Plus, who names their Pidgey Flappy? And I don't even like that damn Flappy Bird shit. I just came up with it before I even knew what Flappy Bird was. And I used it in my Heart Gold Nuzlocke. Rest in peace, Flappy. Alright, so, why am I so talkative? Normally I'm not good with the commentary bit.
What? I'm waiting for my friends to find me here. I'm lost in this dark place. Help! There's a lot of Pokemon in here. Ah, don't look at my panties!
That is a typical pose a lass would have if you startled her ass and tried looking up her skirt if you're a 10-year-old child. Facepalm. But that is a typical defensive pose where it's like, ah, I caught you peeking. Oops, excuse me, move my mic. You cursed future fairy thing! The funny thing is, he was probably a precursor to the fairy typing because Clefairy not only has fairy in its name, but it is also a fairy Pokemon. Not the type, I mean its description as a fairy Pokemon. You bitch! See that thing? That thing is a destroyer of dragons. Not really, because it probably doesn't have the strength to back up, but dragons literally can't harm that thing in Gen 6. That thing will murder your freaking Dragonite, Salamence, Garchomp, and whatever freaking badass dragons. Well, Garchomp's part ground, so it could use other moves, but still my point stands. That thing will murder your dragons unless they use other moves other than their own type, which they won't have a super physical stab otherwise. And not only that, Dragon is weak to Fairy. And there's some good Fairy moves. So not only is Fairy literally immune to Dragon typing, they are strong against Dragon. Which Fairy is kind of good, I guess, because it gave the Poison typing a foothold to actually make it more competitively or stronger typing. Otherwise, Poison is pretty pathetic. Along with Bug. I don't know. Poison's not that bad. There's some really good bugs, like Scizor and stuff like that. And whatever else I can't think of the name of. That centipede thing. All I can think is Whirlipede, and it's not it. It's its final stage. I just can't think of the name right now. Scolipede, thank you. Thank you, Mind. Yeah, Scolipede is pretty good. I know Scizor is good. Except it's Bug Steel, so it's allergic to fire, but that's okay. But yeah, like... they're not really all that strong, neither are poison types, but Fairy added, you know, there's some good poison type moves and some decent poison Pokemon. But, you know, Fairy just added that extra typing to give them an extra foothold, which is nice. Now, if only there was weaker Pokemon that poison or Bug did a greater damage or greater deal against, because bugs aren't really that great unless you use Scizor and Scolipede and whatever else is good, you know, to rape Psychic and whatever other types they're good against, which I don't know. I'm not great against all the typings in the world. Stop. Don't point that finger that way, because that finger's, that thumb, technically, is going right up your ass. Alright, so down here there's some trainers before you go into that stair, go down that ladder. There's some Poke trainers. There's also items, which, I forgot which direction. I think it's that way. I think it's a rare candy or an escape rope. I'm not sure if there's anything that way, though. Which is, why am I pointing? The left. The left! Oh, there is. And it is a Potayan. It's a flotation. It's a flotation device. What? Don't sneak up on me! I'm sorry, my voices aren't that great. It's a lot easier when I have an actual, a vision of a person in, you know, a game, and like, I come up with a voice, and, super nerd, rather. Don't sneak up on me! I hate you! Not really, I actually like Magnemite, Magneton, and Magnezone. I just hate their new typing. Well, they're not new anymore, but they were. Steel Electric. Steel kind of confuses me in terms of what's ineffective or what not to it, because, like, so depending on what typings they are, Steel is really only weak to fire and ground, I think. Now, there's Steel Ground, Steel, I think, you know, Steel Electric, stuff like that. Some Steels, like Steelix, which is Steel Ground, or Steel Rock, one of the two. It would make more sense to be Steel Rock, but I could be wrong. I think it's Rock. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Which is weak to water as well as fire. Now, Rock, and I believe both Rock and Ground are resistant a little to fire, which means it doesn't do as much damage. Plus, they're strong against fire, which is why Brock is bad news for Charmander lovers. But he's also weak to water, but it's only 2 times, not 4. Now, unless you know it's weak against both those typings, Rock, I believe, is also weak to ground, which would make sense. If not, correct me if I'm wrong, like I said, I'm bad at typings. Especially when now there's all this new shit, like there's Fairy typings. Fairy's not what blows it out of the water, it's just, like, Steel's retyping, and all this other shit that just happened. I got lost once Dark Fairy got introduced, and then Fairy, Dark Steel and Fairy, I said Dark and Fairy. Dark Steel and Fairy were introduced, I just got... You know, I don't know. Like, I know electricity is resistant to flying, strong against said flying type. Also is strong against water, which makes sense. All of the above makes sense. But they're weak to ground and rock, and fighting. I don't know about rock, but I know they're weak to ground and fighting. What? Sorry. Fuck you, Magnemite. But, yeah. Enough of my rant. Leave a comment and let me know what I got wrong. I'm not the best at typing. I'm also not I play Pokemon a lot. Yes, I've actually, in about a few months, I've actually overclocked. I maxed out the time on Pokemon Y version, and I have about over 600 hours. I had over about 600 hours on Pokemon Heart Gold, and at least a good 3,000 or 4,000, maybe more, on the entire franchise. I played Pokemon from the day I saw my brother playing this game. I didn't have it when it first came out, because I don't remember what time, when it came out. I know it was like, I think 96? 96, I think? I definitely didn't... I saw Pokemon commercials, but I wasn't introduced to Pokemon until much later when I first saw my brother and his friend playing the game, and then I later got it afterward. So I definitely didn't have it first. And then once I got it, I, played the shit out of it. And I grew up with the original Gen 1 up until now. And even all the subsequent side games, like Coliseum and Stadium and the such. And even the ones that suck. Hey, you Pikachu, I'm looking at you. I've been playing all those up until now. And I have over thousands of hours on each, if not more, probably way more. Because I've wasted several hours. Shiny hunting, breeding, EV training, hatching, whatever. I didn't read his dialogue. So we're gonna get this item. Sorry, I wanted to speed that up a bit. It is a rare candy. So rare candy will level up your Pokemon by 1 level, but it won't get a respective stat boost. I think that's what it right. If you level up a Pokemon with rare candies, they won't get the required EV points because you didn't fight a specific Pokemon. So if you level up a Pokemon from level 5 or level 1 in Gen 3 and onward, I think it was Gen 3. Was it Gen 3 that incorporated level 1? Or was it Gen 4? Whatever. If you level up a Pokemon with a rare candy from level 5, level 1 and onward to 100, it'll be shit. I mean, yeah, it'll be strong, like, yeah, somewhat, but it won't be as strong as a hand-trained level 100 Pokemon that you permanently trained yourself. Reason being is because the Pokemon you train in the wild or trainer battles of the Elite Four alike gains effort values from the Pokemon that they killed. Every time you kill a said Pokemon, they gain points per a specific stat, and when they level up, all those stat points that they gained will show up on the level up screen, and you'll see how many points you got per stat, such as like strength, or physical attack, special attack, speed, even HP. Excuse me. Or is HP not affected? I don't know. I believe it would be. But yeah. But if you just feed them a rare candy and not actually train, your Pokemon just won't be all that strong. It's basically like, I don't know, it's not. I was gonna say steroids, but then the proteins and irons are to promote EV training. Almost. Not really promote it, but it gives it like, it's like you could feed them 10 of almost all of them. I forgot how many points they give you, but it cuts off some of your EV training, and then you could just go EV train the rest of the stats along the way. As costly as they are, they were good to use. But EV training is better because not only do you not have to worry about money matters, you can just do it anywhere. And there's also Gen 6's Horde battles in the mix, which you'll get 5 times that of one Pokemon. So if you're looking for a specific stat, you'll get that 5 times. Hey man, people are known for leveling up in the wild to level 100. That's painful. You may have Lucky Egg, but that is freaking painful. And why am I looking away from the camera? Alright guys, that's going to end this episode. I'm sorry, this is babbled on and on and on. If you enjoyed my rant, if you enjoyed my talking, my commentary, if you enjoyed me, if you enjoyed my face, I don't know. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a like, comment, subscribe, as it helps me out greatly. Leave a comment for any mistakes I got wrong, or any mistakes I made. Any mistakes I got wrong. Those are words. Any mistakes I made, anything I got wrong, or if anything I got correct, leave a comment. And have a good day, have a good night. I'll see you in the next episode of Pokemon. Peace and good night.